lesson of mine. Today we talk about algebraic formula. Let's see what we have here. I found this kind of a difficult, not really, but it looks scary exercise from the book, and let's try to figure it out together. So again, this topic is a formula, and here we are basically just substituting the values into the formula and trying to find out what is k in this example. So as we see, the a equals 3, b equals -2, and c equals to a -1. Very important thing here is that there's a lot of squares, and then there's a square root on top of that. So pay attention to the signs, please. Make sure you don't forget about anything. Let's get started. So k equals to square root of, and here we go. So a squared, a is 3, so we have 3 squared plus -2. Keep in mind if you have a negative number as your value, so it's a big kind of a warning sign to you. You have to really watch out to not mess anything up. So best of all, we just put it in brackets like this. So b squared we would write as -2 in the bracket squared plus c squared, again the same thing, so -1 in the bracket squared, -2c, so -2 times -1, like this. Again, the difficulty of this exercise is in a variety of signs, so it's very easy to make a mistake when you have so many different minuses everywhere. Very tricky. And then all of this divided by a squared, so that's 3 squared plus b squared, that's -2 squared plus 4 times c. You probably noticed like all we do is we just replace the values, right? So a equals 3, then we replace a with 3 here and here, right? B equals to -2, so we replace b with -2. C equals to -1, so we replace all the c's with -1, and then just to pay attention, make sure you don't mess up the signs. Not much. All right, so let's finish this. Okay, so we have 3 squared. Let's try to figure this out quickly. So 9 plus 4 plus 1. Here, pay attention. Minus and minus gives us the plus. So this becomes +2. All of this divided by what is going to be 9 plus 4. And then here we have plus and minus, which gives us the minus in the end. So that's going to be square root from, what's it going to be, 13, 14, 16. So that's 16 over 9. So at this point you can probably get your calculators. Or you could basically do this. You could say that the square root can be broken down into 2 square roots. So square root of 16 over square root of 9, which is equal to 4 over 3. This can be your final answer. Oh, okay, I told you guys that you can get your calculator at this step. You know, the truth is, I would actually probably get the calculator in the beginning of this question to make it easier. So I'll show you what I mean. Let me just probably put it here. So this whole question, again, can be done in the calculator, which is actually going to be more reliable if you're confident about using your calculator. And again, the hint, I think I told this before, but just make sure to type up the whole equation in the calculator. Don't just type it part by part, type the whole thing in your calculator. This way it's going to be more precise. So let's just type it. So a squared, we have 3 squared plus, again, brackets here. So brackets -2 squared plus brackets -1 squared. And finally, -2 times, again, brackets, 2 times -1. Remember that if there's no sign, like here 2c, it means that it's multiplication. Okay, and finally, all of this divided by a squared, so again, 3 squared plus b squared, so -2 squared, and finally plus 4c, so plus 4 times, again, -1. 4 over 3, we get the same answer. So again, like, if your actual exam, I would actually recommend to use calculator on this question, because calculator is a bit more reliable in this case. But again, you can just check yourself with calculator. You can do it twice. But that's it. So this is probably one of the hardest questions that you can see on this particular topic. But let's do some more. I prepared a couple of exam style questions. Let's try to figure it out together. Again, at any moment you can pause the video. Like, no. Let me try the easy one. Okay. So at any moment you guys can pause the video. You can try to work it out yourself. And then you can come back and just check your answer. Did we get the same answer or not? Sometimes I get the wrong answer. So I had my student pointed out to me one time. So if you guys find it, extra points for that, definitely. If you can find any mistakes in my video, they happen sometimes. Okay, so let's get working. F equals 3g plus 7h. Work out the value of f when g equals -5 and h equals 2. This is past paper question, but probably from the core paper. So it's like paper 1, like a really easy past paper question. So let's do it quickly. So 3g plus 7h. Again, so we just basically replace. G gets replaced with -5 and h gets replaced with 2. And this way we get f is equal to 3 times -5 plus 7 times 2, which is -15 plus 14, which is equal to -1, which is our answer. That's it. Okay, couple more questions. So sometimes wait, you will see something like this, where so this one is a little bit trickier than a last question, but anyway, quite easy. So given v squared equals u squared plus 2as, work out the value of a when v equals 5, u equals 3, s equals -2. You see, a is actually not the subject of this formula. So we cannot just plug in all the values. We have to also try and somehow change this formula to actually find a. So let's see, there's actually two ways to do this. So first way is we just plug in all the values. We just say v squared, so that's going to be 5 squared, equals to u squared, so that's 3 squared, plus 2 times a times s is -2. Alright, so this becomes 25 equals to 9. 2 times -2 is -4, so -4a. And now we can just solve this as an equation, right? So 9 goes to the other side. We will get 16 equals to -4a. Then we divide both sides by -4. We get a equals to -4. Right? Or the other way to do this is we could make a the subject. So this would be another way. So without substituting the values first, we could manipulate the formula a little bit by moving u to the left first of all. So we will get v squared minus u squared equals to as. And then we can divide both sides by 2s. We would get a equals to v squared minus u squared divided by 2s. So we make a the subject in this case. And then after we do this, we can substitute the values. We can substitute the letters for digits. So we would get 5 squared minus 3 squared divided by 2 times -2 is equal to a, right? A equals to all of the stuff substituted. So we would get the same value in the end. So it's going to be -4. So two methods, which one to use? Up to you guys. I think the first one looks a bit more interesting, but again, some people may not agree with me. Okay, so let's do one more example. Let me find something interesting for you. I prepared some more questions. That's not very interesting, but okay, just for the sake of it. So just like let's do one more question on this topic. This one, you see, we don't have, like, normally it would say something like find the value of f when g equals -3, right? But here we don't have another letter. We have only g, and we need to find the value of expression. So don't get confused by that. You just have to find the value of, like, this whole thing. There's no letter for it, but you just find the value of it. So 25 minus 4 times -3 would be equal to 25 plus, actually, 12, you see, because minus and minus gives us the plus, which is equal to 37. So don't get confused by phrasing of this question. You see, it's still a pretty easy question overall, I would say. So yeah, small, easy topic, substituting values into the formula. I hope you guys understand it, and see you on the next lesson.